What's going on, everybody? About to go live with Coach Juan, a great coach. And we're going to talk a little baseball, answer some of your questions. There's Coach Juan. There he is. Pitch logic. I'm loving the, by the way, loving it. My boy Chase, what's good, kid? Josh, what's going on?
What's up? How are you?
Coach Juan, how are you?
Not bad. Just another day in the life, you know?
I love the background.
Oh, thanks.
I think
Well, Griffey Jr.
that's the thing. You got to work on, you got to have the background.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little man cave I've developed myself here. I think if I flip this right in front of me, got a nice little Dustin Pedroia autograph on the front side. And then behind me, you got the Griffey Jr. auto. You have Bronson Arroyo auto and a Jason Varitek auto.
Bronson
So,
Arroyo.
yeah, just trying to spruce it up here. Hey,
Dude,
what's up, guys? Anybody
love it.
saying hello, hello, hello?
Good people coming in here. Good people.
For sure, for sure.
I found this. Got Xavier in here. Stud. Absolute stud.
What's up, Derek?
Miami Marlins and Cardinal, by the way. And got
Nice.
Nicky, my boy, right here. This is the quote to live by. I don't know if you could see it. What does that
What we
say?
got?
It's backwards.
It's backwards.
There's no crying. I still mess this up. There's no crying in baseball.
Absolutely.
Xavier, I hope
Perfect.
you're feeling okay, man. Hope all is well.
Xavier, what's up? Thanks for coming in.
Red
Red
Sox
Sox
suck.
do suck. Yeah, I had to shut the game off. They are a beautiful disaster this year so far. It's like a train wreck, but it's the type of like train wreck that you can't keep your eyes off of. You know, you have to. Yeah, or you ever see a car accident and you just slow down to see what's up? That's the Boston Red Sox this year.
I mean, I think they got a bright future, though. I think they got a lot of great prospects. That guy they got from the Dodgers. Is that Tony Ann?
Yeah, Jeter Downs and stuff, but the player development situation in the Red Sox organization is a complete disaster. They're not very good at what they do over there.
You think so?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just by from what I've heard from guys and guys who's given me their firsthand experience, like they're just constantly butting heads. I mean, I really think it's because at the moment, from what I know, it's just they signed that can't think of his name at the moment, but they signed the new guy to be their president of baseball operations, and he hasn't brought in his guys yet. So there are guys from the previous regime still there, and there's just a lot of friction right now in the player development side of the Red Sox. And they're so disorganized. Like they don't even have like a Google Docs where they have all the scouts on to like communicate back and forth of what they think about guys and like coaches and stuff like that. It's just like a complete disaster over there.
What I think is very sad with what's happening in baseball is I think the scouting game is changed completely due to analytics. And I think it's, I pretty much, I'm probably saying something that's already, goes without saying, but I think it really is disrupting. The analytic game is disrupting scouting. I think you saw the Mariners. I heard they just cut 35 scouts in their organization.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
obviously because of the COVID, but they're seeing like the numbers don't lie. They're looking at different statistics, and they have all these whiz kids that are in there, and they're really seeing that it kind of saves on money by not having so many scouts.
It 100% saves on money, and specifically on like the pitching side of things, it's you can scout a kid basically on video and Rapsodo report, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like unless he's gonna be, I would say probably a top 10 round guy where you might dish out a lot of your draft capital for the kid, then you go see him. But a lot of these drafts and even recruiting at the Division I level, a lot of it on the pitching side of thing is really just going to be, can I see a video? How big is he? How athletic is he? And what are his Rapsodo numbers? And that's it. That's all they're going to need.
Here's the problem with it, though, and this is what our topic is going to be about.
Okay.
We need scouts.
I agree.
So, and again, I know you were so with the Rapsodo and the analytics, and I think it's fantastic. And it is what it is. We have to adapt. We have to
Yeah.
adapt. And that's something that I'm, as a trainer, I'm trying to learn more about that and the technology. Something like even the pitch logic. I know you and I both use, but
Yep.
there's
I have
something
it.
to be said, like the Billy Bean method,
There it is
where
right
they could
there.
be a number one draft pick. They could be a number one draft pick, but if they're not developed psychologically as well,
Yeah.
I even think because scouts are also on the boots on the ground as well. So I think there's something to be said about having that eye, where it's not just purely statistics and purely development. I think there's still a need for that in baseball. But I think if we can morph and have scouts working alongside a rap sodo to like use it as a tool. That's kind of
I
like as
agree.
entrepreneurs, like using Instagram and stuff. Like, for me, it's like I hear so many business owners saying, "Oh, I don't use Facebook, I don't use Instagram." If you're gonna die because you're not adapting.
You're
So,
gonna miss out. You have
so
to.
you work with it. So it's the
Mhm.
same thing with scouts. Like I think we have to. I don't know what direction we're going in here, but bottom line is like I do think scouts are very needed. I don't know what your thoughts are. I think scouts are needed in the game today. They need to learn how to adapt.
They do. I think we're in a really hard time, kind of going back to the word friction between scouting departments and analytic departments, and then the player development department as well. Like, there's so many organizations that are just a complete and utter disaster. I already mentioned the Red Sox. The Mets are another organization that are
Dude,
just
what is
like,
the deal? I would like to know what is the problem with the Mets besides that they suck. What is the problem with the Mets?
their player development.
Why are they like they have the tools, they have the players. I want to know
Yeah.
like what are they doing? Like why are they this bad? You know what I mean? I'd like to know your thoughts.
So their player development department sucks, and their strength and conditioning
I
also
like it,
stinks.
Chase.
And it really like comes down to how both of those departments are communicating with one another,
Right.
and the communication from the top down. So the Mets head of hitting, like, he doesn't do anything. There's no communication. So like they have about 8 hitting coaches at spring training, for example. The Mets do. So at spring training, your head of the hitting department, and you would think that they would be a spreadsheet that everybody has access to, where they say, hey, I was working with Justin Sherman in the cage the other day. He's our number 51 prospect. We worked on X, Y, and Z. Just in case a different coach has him next time, this is what we worked on. You would think that that would be logical for an organization to have. They have none of that. They have no type of communication between coaches to coaches. You one day you may work with like TJ Hannon's over there. One day you may work with TJ Hannon, and he may tell you that he believes that X, Y, and Z needs to be done. And then the next day you may work with a guy who's been there for 25 years and he's 65 years old and completely shuts down everything TJ has. And there's no real communication or togetherness in the Mets organization, specifically when it comes to hitting right now. And I think that really hurts it. And this is the way it's been over there for quite some time at this point. Like, I'm not going to make up a number, but it's been a while that they've been
Yeah.
like this. And like all of that friction, I think, adds up to failing in the development aspect of their position guys. Because they draft really freaking talented guys, and they sign very talented international signings, but they can't get them up the ranks. It's because, at the beginning of a spring training day, you have an hour to go hit, and they have about 6 to 8 cages open. Each cage has a different hitting coach in there. And I mean, I've been told that you can like feel the tension between the hitting coaches, where it almost
In the
feels
Mets
like
organization.
directly in the Mets organization, where it feels like they're coaching in order to have their name behind you. So if you make it to the major leagues, they can say, see that guy right there? I made him, please promote me. As a
Mm. Uh-oh.
close to a
Hope we didn't lose.
cohesiveness within their department where everybody is just together and on the same page. Park is half a mile away from the baseball facility at Northeastern. The Red Sox have yet to see this kid once. The New York Yankees have been there 5 times to see him. The Houston Astros have been there 4 or 5 times to see him. The Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs have all been there to see him. The Red Sox haven't seen him once, and he's a 96-mile-an-hour right-hander who's going to get drafted in the top 5 rounds, and he's literally in your backyard. And kind of the same idea and premise goes, let's say Mets, like Mike Trout was technically in your backyard. Like he was right there,
They
And
probably could have drafted him right there. They had the opportunity. Mike Trout could have been a Yankee he could have been. He was 25th, wasn't he, overall?
I can't remember. I just I'm using it as an
Yeah, I think
example
he
of
was 25th.
I'm sure,
I think Trout was number 25 overall.
I'm sure the Mets passed up on him, but they
probably
didn't
got
know.
some. I think they drafted Harvey that year.
I'm very curious to see where the Yankees are 5 to 7 years from now. I think they hired a lot of really good people to really. Every department has a head honcho, and every head honcho is doing an outstanding job communicating on what the process is, what our belief system is. And it's not that you're not allowed to deviate from that belief system, but these are our core values, and everybody understands their core values. And the Yankees have been on that for about 18 months now. So I'm very curious to see what they look like player development wise coming through the minor leagues in the next 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, it's funny because the Yankees had been known to be this clog of just signing a bunch of free agents, but I feel like they've completely turned around that
they revamped
they got
everything.
some young studs. How about Gio?
Yeah,
I mean, the kid's a stud.
They revamped their entire program. They have a brand new strength and conditioning program. They have a brand new pitching program. They have brand new guys at the head of each program, and each guy is incredible at communicating with the rest of the coaching staff. Because with pitching,
so that's
for example,
the key. You'd say that's the key is the communication between minor league coaches and stuff.
I think that's 100% the key. Because I think from my experience with talking with guys, I hear the same thing from multiple organizations where there's no cohesiveness and there's no communication within each department. The hitting department, there's going to be 8 to 12 coaches on every organization. And the best organizations, the St. Louis Cardinals, the New York Yankees, the Houston Astros, those
even the
organizations.
Astros are good as far as their, I mean, I know they cheated, but they're still legit,
They still develop
top 5
good players.
organization.
Right. They still develop great players. But then you have disasters like the Royals and the Giants and the Red Sox and the Mets. I think the most embarrassing ones are the Red Sox and Mets. It's bro, you guys have every resource in the world. How isn't somebody putting their foot down and saying, this is not how we develop arms, or this isn't how we develop hitters? There has to be an organizational philosophy, and communication needs to be very high because we're investing so much money in these guys.
I'm surprised because Henry's a smart cookie. Right? That's the owner, Henry.
Yeah, he's very
ownership.
Very bright.
Look at Kraft. I mean, he's talk about class ownership. I mean, it has to do with ownership too. I mean, to me, the Wilpons need to sell. They got to get out.
They will.
I mean, Cohen or whoever it's going to be. I don't want A-Rod or J-Lo. Honestly, I really don't. I can't take it. But I think it has to do with ownership. But you would think that you're saying for an organization it has to do with communication with the coaches. I think that could even go with Antonelli baseball. You're talking about Antonelli baseball, it's about communication, right?
Yeah, it's very big.
As a coaching staff.
we have around 20 coaches or so, and I have a thread with it. This is how I want pitchers handled, and it's this is the pitch counts. This is how we treat them. This is what we want to do after game. The whole kit and caboodle. You know what I mean? This is what our structure is, and I don't want to take away from your ability and your beliefs, but I just want it to be structured. They're going to warm up this way. They're going to get hot this way. They're going to pitch X amount of pitches, and they're going to cool down this way. After that, you can the goal is to hire good coaching. So after that, it's like just coach the way you want to coach them. But there just has to be some sort of structure and continuity, I think, in any organization.
Right. I agree. I mean, I think the topic here is development and scouts and coaching and organization and communication. I think that's the real topic here that we're talking about, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
No, because I look at the Mets and I'm like, there's my mother in the background. The bottom line is, another great coach, Coach Drexel. I've been working with him on the side a little bit with his swing, his arm. Talk about a positive guy. Someone I appreciate. I appreciate positivity. But I mean,
yeah.
I look at the Mets and I look at their talent. I mean, even they did draft some good guys though. Like they drafted well, but I feel like they're just. I agree with you. I think they're not on the same page. Even this Yoenis Cespedes situation. That's an example of organization. I don't think that would ever happen with the Yankees.
No, God, no.
Ever.
Like there's too much.
Yankees, that wouldn't happen with the Cardinals. That just would not happen.
No, Yankees, Cardinals, Dodgers, and we're not even talking big markets. I don't think that would happen with the Rays. I think the Rays are very well run.
Oh,
like I don't
fantastic.
even,
Fantastic.
like I don't think that, and they're a small market, so it's not even a big market, small market thing. It's just respect for your coaching staff, respect for the people who are calling the shots, and a lot of that respect does come with like making it seem like you have your crap together as an organization. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's a big deal, and communication should probably be at the forefront of making it at least appear that you do have your stuff together.
So the key for an organization, and I'd love for Ant, because I see Ant's here. I don't know if he's still here in the live, but his son is a freshman. He's talking about, like, I spoke with this gentleman. He actually lives in Florida. I believe Fort Myers, Ant, if you're still listening. But he was talking to me about, like, what makes a good organization, when's the right time to make the move to get in front of people. Maybe we could say that for another day. But, like, I always say, like you say, like, development and communication, I think, are the keys. I think those are the key points that I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I mean, those are basically it. Like if you can, as a coach, if you're focused on personal, physical, and athletic development with the kid, and you can communicate that at a high level, now it really just comes down to accountability from the player side. And that's probably the most difficult part, at least for youth players, especially like high school kids, is keeping them accountable when they're at home. I mean, when they're basically anywhere outside of the baseball field, like how accountable they're going to be. But if there's accountability there and communications at a high, and your focus as a coach is just on player person development, like the kid's going to flourish. He's going to get better. It doesn't even require like this super elite, intricate, highly detailed program, so long as those like stones are there. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean, I even noticed what makes a great organization is delegation. Like you also have to learn how to delegate as well. Like I feel like these like you just said, the Yankees, like knowing that you do this and do that job really well, and you do this, like even for me, like, and I'm sure with Anthony baseball, with Matt, how, he knows that his thing is not pitching, so he's going to delegate that to you, correct? I mean, I think delegation makes a good organization too.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. I think delegation, and then kind of attached to that is what's expected out of you from people above you. So like I like knowing Matt's expectation of me, just so I know for a fact, hey, like this is my job. I need to meet that expectation. And then once I meet that expectation, how can I exceed the expectation? But it's always good to have those goals given to you from, I mean, whoever. It doesn't even have to be athletics, your boss, your coach, your whatever. Like, these are your expectations. Are they clear? Are they communicated properly? Okay, let me go meet them.
I love it. I love it. If anyone has any questions, hop on in. I see Robbie Glusker. Robbie, I heard you played the other day, or at least you were trying to get back on the field, which is unbelievable. Um, Everything else all right with you, Coach?
Yeah, man, just been incredibly busy. We're having two seasons basically having happening at the same time. Our spring season, our summer season are kind of blended together. So it's been a lot of like 60, 70 hour weeks. Um,
Wow, it's a
and
lot.
yeah, oh yeah, like I haven't had a day off in about 2 months at this point.
Yeah, but you know what?
Um,
You love it. You love it.
yeah, I love it. I don't care. I don't like this is what I enjoy to do. Uh, and I mean, this is part also of being self-employed and things like that. Like you just have to grind and like I grind sounds so passe and I kind of like hate using that term because it
Yeah,
doesn't
grind's
feel
like,
like a
oh,
grind.
it's horrible, like grind.
Yeah, yeah. Like I kind of mean it in like an effort aspect. Like
Sure,
my
sure.
effort is grind worthy. Like I am freaking going at a high level and I try to
Commendable.
stay at that. Yeah, I try to stay at that high level as much and as long as I possibly can. And then it's up to me to understand when burnout is going to happen because I'm still human, right? And once I feel like, I'm pretty close to burnout, I got to relax for a couple days, and that's totally cool too. And that's maybe something that's underplayed that not enough people
Oh, I
allow
agree.
themselves
I'm
to
starting to
do.
do that more, Coach. By the way, because you and I are in the same
Yeah,
boat. Like I'm 24/7.
yeah.
Today there was a hurricane, which hopefully you guys are okay up there. You're
We're
by
getting it
Boston.
now.
Oh, you're getting it now. Yeah, we had it today. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many trees down. I had like 6, 7, clients I was about to see, but four
yeah,
of them had trees falling, on by their house. So, for me, like today was my first legitimate day off in like 2 months. I literally did nothing today. This
yeah,
is like you can consider this work, which it's not work, but it is work.
right.
But I love it. But I mean, this is the only work related thing I've done today. And I think that makes you a better coach/entrepreneur. I think it
Yeah.
does. I think it makes you like once in a while to take one or two a day off here and there. It's important to do that.
And even like it doesn't even have to be like the full day. Just like for an example, this is really bizarre, but like I think you know this. Like I'm a big wrestling fan. I love wrestling. That's like one of my hobbies. I super enjoy it, and I always take out 5 hours a week to watch wrestling. Like literally sit down
I used to
and
love
just freaking
Goldberg.
yeah, like you know what I mean? Like so
Just boom,
just
Goldberg.
sparing people. So like whatever it is for you, for that some people freaking love reading. Some people love movies, like they're movie buffs, right? Yeah, like I know you love reading. So
You should
like
read this, by the way. For any
what book is
coach
that?
that's listening to this, The Coaching Habit, Say Less, Ask More, and Change the Way You Lead Forever. It's very good. Short read.
No, it's not, it
I'll
looks like
mail
an
it up
easy
to you. I'll
read.
mail it up to you. I'm almost done with it. It's very good. You
That'd be
can keep
cool.
it.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Um, but like I said, the last couple I've been working 2 months in a row every day, and it's like where can I find a little bit of release in the week?
Sure.
And I know, every Monday, like I'm gonna watch wrestling. Every Wednesday I'm gonna watch wrestling, and every Friday I'm gonna watch wrestling. I'm just gonna like sit down and enjoy it and like have a drink and don't worry about baseball.
Nice
Don't look
apple
at text
juice.
messages. Yeah, whatever it is. Um, but
Right.
because you can easily be consumed with your cell phone and your emails and like
Sure.
you get home and that's another thing that I've done recently is I do not look at emails if it's not Sunday and Monday. So if you email me between Tuesday and Saturday, like I'm just like I'm sorry, I'm not going through it. Because if I
I
just sit
like that.
down every day, like it would take me
What's a typical
six.
email on a Sunday that you get? I mean, you got 10 over pretty much 11,000 followers on Instagram. You must get a ton of mail. And those are legit followers. Those are like paid, like you have legit 11,000 followers. So
Yeah,
what's a typical email? Like a remote client?
I mean, it could be remote clients. It could be people asking for lessons. It could be people asking for advice. It could be our own players asking like, stupid stuff. Like I call it stupid, but like, what jersey are we wearing? It's like, oh my gosh, like, can you guys just figure that out on your own, you know?
Sure,
Um,
sure.
but
It's
like
extra
it can,
things you got to do.
yeah, it's like it's something extra that right that I have to do. But like emails can be anything. It could be business related. So like I know you use the Pitch Logic. You know, 2 weeks ago I got an email from Pitch Logic saying this, that, and the other. You know, yesterday I looked at emails on Monday. I had another business inquiry where like, hey, do you want to collaborate and things. So it could be a number of different subject matters, anything you can really think of that at least business and baseball related comes my
Well,
way.
we got
And
to start that, man.
yeah,
And we'll come up with topics and this and that. I think we should do it. I'm
yeah,
saying it on the air.
I'm down for whatever. Like
A
so
half
long,
hour show of business tie with baseball, the instruction business,
yeah,
the camp, the clinics. I think it'd be great.
yeah.
I
You
think
can learn
people would listen
you
to it.
can learn a lot from people. I really agree. I think there's a demand for that from other coaches who are from either other coaches, other programs, or people who are just trying to aspire to do, you know, what we're doing. But like I mean, Sundays, it could take me up to 4 hours to complete emails, you know, and like I
Because
can't do that every day.
You don't
No,
rush. I can tell.
try to freaking read it and try to
Yeah,
be
thoughtful
concise and
answer.
give good answers and stuff
Sure,
like that.
sure.
Um, but I mean, I can't like your days can be just so consumed. Like today, it's funny. I had a lesson. We did the lesson and a player like heard my phone a million times. He's like, "How many messages did you just get?" Within that 1 hour lesson, I got 22 text messages and 12 DMs on Instagram. And he's like, "How do you even do that?" I'm like,
That's
I don't look at it. Classify text messages the same way. Like um, if you're not somebody that needs an immediate response from me, again, I'm not answering until Sunday. And the lucky part is that I've gotten people kind
excuse
of
me.
programmed because I have a lot of return clients. So
Sure.
with the return clients, like they just understand. They're like, all right, like I'm gonna email on Wednesday, but I'm not gonna expect anything until Sunday, and they're totally cool with that.
Right.
So it's like programming your clientele too. Like good, like I promise I'll get it done, but this is when it gets done because I just don't have the time to do it every single day.
Coach, I appreciate you doing this, and I know you're very
Yeah,
busy
dude.
as what you just said.
Yeah,
Um,
I just posted a pretty cool video if anybody wants to go see it on YouTube. We mic'd up one of our pitcher onlys in the dugout, and
a PO, a PO.
yeah, he's a PO. He's out of his mind, but it was good content. He got mic'd up and he was just blabbing away, but I thought it was pretty funny. But if anybody wants to go
I
see
will.
that, just
I
go
watch
check over
just
my
about every
YouTube.
video you put up, man. Just about.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I
I
even give
appreciate
some
it.
nice little comments. I'm sure you check them out.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe this will go on YouTube. Who knows?
Why the heck
Anyway,
not?
exactly. So yeah, we will talk, but thank you. I think the subject here was great on communication, scouts, development. It's great. And I'd love to do this with you at least every other week or whatever we
I'm
can do
in.
this.
I'm in. Just text me or DM me.
Coach, feel good, man. We'll talk.
You too. I'll see ya.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for doing this. See you
Of
later.
course. Say hi to the kids.